In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Seal, nowhere's safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Seal. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off in the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that will strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
deliverance! Have mercy on your soul!
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside? Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of sauce. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed. For all we know...
Maybe the lock can be Jimmy. This seems to be broken. Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in
Better to
protecting
detonate
whatever's
that mine
kept there.
safely than trip over it myself. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
This seems to be broken.
Shut tight!
Well, what's this I've spotted? We made short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
Upon the earth!
I need to dry off.
Ho! Our enemies have laid a trap. Appears to be locked.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends? I've spotted something. I've spotted something. I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
I sense enemies nearby. This seems to be broken.
I guess someone else got here first.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The bloodstone defiler, where is it? I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retro in life. I toil to care for these holy grounds. In death, I run if you like, defiler.
Stand before me.
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Meet your demise!
right, look. Look! A wanderer comes my way. Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. My fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives release. And trust time is an indulgence. Oh, all this I have seen. What do you say?
Kindness is its own reward. And then there's the promise of treasure to boot. Let's throw him into the sea.
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me.
Just hold your tongue, will you, bibbiers? Can't be too careful.
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a two-bit...
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a hat.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Excuse me? I'm not going to be pushed around by two inebriates. I say we sober them up, and quickly too.
Do me a favour and calm down, would you? Wouldn't want you to get hurt.
You'd let these lowly grunts order us around? I thought you had more pride than that.
Very well, have it your way.
You defy the Legion, will you? The punish...
Valiant dash! Crushing fist! Wherever you go, well, there I am. Confound it! A dance to the death, and my steps the date. How could that happen?
Well, there we have it. 2 dead legionnaires.
They deserved it, the cretins.
I'm not so sure anymore.
Is at hand.
Had a human commander?
Damn traitor.
How very
Where are
curious.
Bibius and Junius?
And disquieting.
Didn't they hear the fight?
Oi, the Source Hunter. Nice to see thee. Oh, I'm not so different from any other soldier you'll meet round these parts. Beats me what traitorous madness came over that dog. A man among all. Whatever the cur's incentive to raise swords alongside that murderous lot. Let's all hope it bloody orcs are at it again. Beats me what on earth. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fight. They may need help. I would go myself, but we legionnaires are under strict orders never to abandon.
Oi! The Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more. Beats me what traitorous madness kept whatever the curse in.
in the Seven's name happened here?
Hail, Source Hunter! Why? I don't...
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. So you were, and so you weren't. There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, it's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at Captain Aureus, though. The local commander of the Legion. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so there are. Or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it she seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a... Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate, to be out in the night. To stalk, but of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like... And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who... I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to... the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the... The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused... Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some... I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the... And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck.
Undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go and see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Come now, enough human greed. Cast the gaze upon my tail. Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen.
What fool would suck a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves you.
An orc in love? Ha! When this little shan fades, she'll liberate the flesh from her faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast the gaze instead upon my fair silent dress.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour. We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour.
Moo-wee! Moo-wee!
If you're taking to the sea, leave a wide berth around that black... Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
One day you'll show 'em all.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods.
Just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now, it's just a turn of phrase.
Will you please turn your phrases elsewhere?
Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. And of course, every now and again, have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about this Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around.
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us serious.
Fucking love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces. Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became... I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those...
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity, I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement?
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from his murderous darling.
Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicile.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion...
You're going to regret...
Well,
Keep your pleasantries to... If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Florius, or as I prefer to call it. As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse, not that idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and straight to... even thinking of him turn...
Source? Here in Sicile? Pah! Of all the cursed... Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my rats.
I used to see orcs in every shadow when I...
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's... Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognise you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough to... We can only hope to hold back the undead. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'd bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? Thank you for heeding my words.
and gamble. That's all we do around here. Hope you fare better, Sauce Hunter. Sauce Hunter's here too. Well, if the Legion couldn't save this place, what are you gonna do?
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously some...
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right.
As you prepare to break ground, you...
All right.
Here's hoping with...
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of you.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
You wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Let him. He's tired.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular
Taken
from
before his
youthful
time.
gore?
Far before his time. One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
An orc in love. When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough demon queen. Cast the day upon my sail and strength.
Taken before his time, far before his time.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
You wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you have to fall unhurt.
Taken before his time, far before his time.
Bringing your little orchid girl here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's howling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore? An orc in love. When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now. Enough.
Taken before his time.
Filthy beasts, I'll kill the last one of you.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
You wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you have the horn on her head.
One day, comrade, vengeance will
Bringing
be
your
ours.
little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing
One day,
a wolf
comrade,
to a
vengeance
hen
will
house.
be ours.
Nonsense. Listen. She's howling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore?
Get people like you can deny it to love.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Upon my sail, I will sing.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all
One
our
day,
sakes.
comrade, vengeance will be ours.
Why? And I won't let you have the horn on her head.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's howling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore?
Taken before his time. Far before his time.
What? You're still. It can't. She still. And that's. We. But I want.
Undead. Orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go and see that Aureus chap Arhu mentioned?
Keep your... You've caused enough distraction.
Salutation! This... Well, I don't have did but that. So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
Duty, indeed. Put up your fists.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the street.
Enough! Both of you! What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an...
Desist, prowler! None shall pass through this door, for with my...
God, duty's not so bad, eh?
Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
One day you'll
Mate,
show 'em all.
he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak
This
by
place reeks
unnoticed.
of orc stench.
It won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not. What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
It won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not.
God, duty's not so bad, eh?
Would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Mate, he says. We are colleagues, nothing more.
Come now, it's just a turn of phrase.
Will you please turn your phrases elsewhere?
He's purring, the darling.
What?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous...
Maybe...
Excuse...
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress.
My friend, perhaps. I'm sure...
I can assure you... You shake...
What kind of...
You shake...
Let her live. If that...
You're right.
You're go...
One day you'll show 'em all.
Too bad indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orchid love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged filly.
One day you'll show 'em all.
Plenty of fish in this. Careful now. Never know when those green beasts gonna launch another. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the
Honored to meet you.
Oh, it never ends. So...
I've spotted something.
The earth.
No. That would be an insult to the dead.
And a disgrace.
You step away from...
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold. Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Ar... Not to mention that it's been my guide. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secret, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon... She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing. But she won't let me take the brief. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silver... Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to make... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. If I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some...
Healing stone? Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out! I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but 1 healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties. You are? I thank you.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the...
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get... No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This is lightning.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very... Oh, yes, proper introductions. Zixex, the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time, how you got here, though, on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. At last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally... Show, don't tell, I always say. So go.
It may be quite mad.
Then we had...
You saw? Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal! It's... The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all, you, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move. Those torches, alight! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincident. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since... It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will... It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, though I cannot say for certain if it is what I believe. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered. But why spoil the mystery? As after you, after you. You first, but don't dilly-dally. Yes, just as I hoped. There she is, there it is.
And he's off. It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
The last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have
You have brought guests, I see. Strange.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe them down to the... But you are different. Of you I see nothing. I know nothing. So please, do tell me, how did you... A stone? So... It was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life. Not like this, no. What happened? Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be...
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus,
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restore.
yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the...
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First, we mend the tapestry. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt?
Not a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
For you, if you're up to the challenge.
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Come, I've got something.
No matter how improbable.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear... No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tap.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void. I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but just like yourselves, Starstones are cute. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stone ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dead. Neither do I. But the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the... This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. We may not understand the how yet. Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword. And even then, I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course, I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. So, gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Lonesome observing the frontier of creation? Surfing the vibrant tide? Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but once perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last... Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another.
That is a good question, Zigzags. One without a conclusive answer, though its resolution may lie in conception. Where you chronicle, I both chronicle and create. Where you arrive at conclusions, I spin origins besides. How welcome you are. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every... Except, it seems, ask and I shall... I am the weaver of time, as I have told you. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new... Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and all I am, is time. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship. For you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility. But no matter, I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection. A blind spot. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the starstones will tell us. I reside in another realm. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone these starstones, please, see...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand, and I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with... That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed, but perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home.
Slimy, reeking...
Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I laze beside the hearths of home. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that you'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? These are strange times for magic, aren't they? Source inside seal, so they say. Out! Now, if you please! This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go!
Fortune!
Away with you! That's enough of that now!
I'm telling you, a necromancer must be at work inside Seal. How else?
Don't scuttle away before you've tried.
Me boots. Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great... I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my...
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting... If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like... Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
For the wheel of the good stuff. Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots. On the move, cheese. Their excuses more hold than a slice of this fine.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
On the move, cheese.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter?
Thank you eternally for your help. That strange reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
You're not from... She was targeted by the Orc Shaman during the attack. Now she's left to the ocean's cold embrace. We just couldn't get ahead of the flames with her.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
Sauce? Here. Sauce? Here, eat side seal.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the name's con? Those are... I'll tell you.
Sauce? Here.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for a joyride?
Our home. Our livelihood. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than free. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings. Those souls are just as pressed for luck as we are. These bleeding...
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Real. Well, no.
Have you found us a job? Nope.
Joyride.
Curse the gods. Is it so difficult to find a day of labor?
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a lump note to the Missing Council's wife.
She was... You're not...
If you are taking to...
Potent heat! Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter.
Be vigilant.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Many legionnaires did so before you. Very few have returned. Whose invention? The stasis blaster. Quite a sight, no? The ray can singe a zombie or skeleton to ash. These days, we legionnaires hold a lottery to see who gets to man the things. You can bet it's no small amount easier to blast those flesh-eating monstrosities from a distance. Don't ask me how the blaster works, though. I just make sure the thing's hitting its targets.
You're a soul Santa, aren't you?
Feeling hot under the collar?
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another sad story, that? Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? You there! What do you think you're doing?
3, 2... Toasty.
So, what's the this here's sad story. I just concern myself. What about it? Didn't I just...
While I sit here stagnantly, watching their lives.
Oh, how
how nice it is of you. Pray, let me be forward with you. O sapling rose, O leaf of spring, for my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize thy gentle-handed assistance, thy kind ministrations. I am but an aged elf that has seen the years parade in long succession. You would listen to my grievances, guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a wonder. Oh, budding flower of the morn, hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the King Crab.
Hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what?
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sightseal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better, to become the full extent of the promise.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Quite right. Adventure.
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. The thrill of... too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and...
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me. Well...
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes water with joy when you discover yet even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those...
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be certain.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlong. Our mission, to better the world. Our mantra, to better ourselves as we do. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, To join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contracts, and once the job is done, I shall see to it you get... Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five, and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, by now the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. Work hard. Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that...
Good stuff.
Join the Stag Club if you've got an eye for barn potatoes.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold. Yes, count me in.
And me, mate.
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very luck... Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous Five material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from the city, but one of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what if it comes back? Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. You found new recruits already? Efficient. Proactive. Oh, I like that. Send them to me and I'll sign them up. And of course, since they're your recruits, you'll get a share of every assignment they complete. What more they call the
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these... I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain more truce. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come see, I'm here on... well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill set. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their soup. I came south seeking the Legion's help. Only to find it tied here in Sicil by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained up...
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in
Another source hunter?
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
No, careful now. Swollen in saffrons, I dare say.
Purring sound. Mind control vibrations, I'm sure. Don't be seduced, comrades.
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Oh, stand still then, if you don't mind. I want to take a good look. Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with the right body, the right spirit. I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Come. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. I am Anna. I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Arata, and, with my pockets full, helped her reach. And when the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my formidable collection of designer slippers. I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. Except that, much to my dismay, I had as yet to find the companion to whom my heart so... But then, Source, so you've joined up. You've sworn to share in our adversity and our bounty alike. I can finally offer you our finest adventuring equipment at... Well, you must be thrilled to find yourself a member of a team so widely renowned for its valor and skill. And you must... Ah, darling, that was so long ago now. Who can remember who said what after all this time? Well, you are a member of the eminent. I hear you've been tasked.
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not why? And don't forget, I'm the most well. You're far from my caliber, but who isn't? It's good you're eager, but let me give you a word of warning. If I don't leave those nasty...
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so... How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer back. So you've been sent...
Me? You mean you don't recognize me? Well, you must live under a... Yes, that is strange. Strange indeed. Oh, you'll find out.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone.
Greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
That you wouldn't believe. So you have seen Punch on, perhaps? Yeah.
You should be more careful, madam. I am a hunter. But as luck would have it, I'm not a zealot.
Stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
And neither am I. Be advised, though, not to give in to your inclinations. Other hunters may not be so...
Gods have mercy. I talked openly about sorcery in front of a source hunter. What a fool I am. Thank you, O compassionate soul that you are, to treat me so leniently. I never have and never will really dabble in sorcery. On that you have my word. On my life, I swear it. No need to worry, sort. How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer. That I am. You wouldn't believe some of the things I...
The hunters go
Leave me be, I have a job to do.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End
Say
it
sealed.
all in blood! Ah, you have come. Yes, that is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play. My name is Eglandir Twilsalanar, elf of the House of Gandavum, the slaughtered House of Gandavum. The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab. The elves of Gandavum, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked, and all undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only I have tracked her down. By the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen son is setting fast. Colour the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the... Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart... The orcs of Gazuldagar. They knew my name. Oh, her name, Victor.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog.
He is as much a savage as those orcs. And how is Victoria guilty of her tribe's crime if she was but a babe at the time?
Indeed. Victoria probably doesn't...
By the filed teeth of Sulumar Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
Greetings, traveller, and may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I... Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The Conduit are linked to the goddess herself by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way we can each of us live on for a span... for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate... There! What's in a name? She go on the...
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent? What big change
I
in your
smell
book with the whale of the good stuff?
The fierce stench of frightened source goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This time.
Wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and churn.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer, then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in? Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the Gem of Sicil. Marvelous. What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Sicil's crown. The beacon of culture. My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine. And she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes. Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. Ah, what? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way.
What nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered
In the name of
this
Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujta Geta Hal. Be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friend... Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow, so that others may enjoy them too.
First edition.
Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Shizm bil kushum zunum. From my amulet? But it is Haxmagi, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul.
It's a key of Salacandras. What nonsense. The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart. The Lesser Key of Salacandras. What nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
When you put it like that, I guess I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that... Turjageta, friend. Volume 1, Volume 2.
Potions to bemuscle you! Scrolls to influence. Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot steel. Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes? Yes? Have you made... Yes. So it is.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I never before envisioned.
That inspiration.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger along while lighting my pipe.
Look careful now. Your head's going all swollen and saffrons, I dare say.
they won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger along while writing my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Jageta, friend. He has gone. Oh, Dejlazim az Ajtenek. You have saved me. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it? When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicil toward... The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amon Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that he raised me like I was his own. This kindest of souls taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters.
I need something more advanced.
Who placed this book
The
here?
Pseudomonarchia
A volume of poetry
Daemonum.
among
And the
novels?
first edition too.
Rack.
Most
Mayhem.
promising. Omnes autem mali daemonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the... Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. For you hardly resemble the local fisher folk, which... No. A source hunter. That is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery. A chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join. Why? Simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy. Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you. The might of the magician's mastermind.
Kajdanor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Peleron will have to pay yet another fine.
On one condition. that on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
Where's the third one gone?
Agree.
Most gratifying. I see you are firm of purpose, and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery. Into the depths where demons dance.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shamsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Kejdenor. The brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Kejdenor. The brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron
If
will have to
only
pay
the
yet
popular
another
girls
fine.
from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shamsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Steadticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Kejdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Steadticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Kejdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. See-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Steadticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
What? Oh, my oh, the move and what says the square
I knew that dark-dealing old man dabbled in source. To the gallows, I say.
He's not a sorcerer, merely a simpleton. And if you'd hang each man for being a fool, there'd be not enough rope in the world to go around.
What? Oh, yes. This my Victoria has every... Yes. What?
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus.
Legion's greetings. I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. But never shall I lose heart. Long as a single legionnaire stands, all of us remain undefeated in the eyes of the gods. So fair a lady I have seldom seen, and steadfast will I guard. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. And what questions are those? I can tell you one thing about tragedy, Flock.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate like I told just about every legionnaire in town? I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different. So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches. I am Esmeralda, wife of Jake, and now, alas, his widow. Poor man. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes. Nothing. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from Well, what do you want to know? Praise be that our never imagined.
Adamant about her innocence. We need to look for evidence if we want to prove she actually did the evil deed.
Strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda, dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know, for the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, my lady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed.
Can you spare a coin?
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step right up!
By the 7.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Or I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan. Psst. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the... pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered.
Hey, you there! Cut it out!
My word! Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti... Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare... What do you call a source hunter who finds a way to draw a crowd away from where he or she would like to perform a clandestine a resourceful hunter? Come now, it can't be that hard to find something to draw off the...
You there!
Fantastic!
You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off. Cry your eyes out. And teeter on the... I think you've gotten quite familiar enough by now, thanks. Keep your paws in your pocket. Hard times, Lord Pinchpen.
I think a king.
A talking head?
Sigurd.
What dark sorcery is this?
And a talking arse. Would that be sorcery too? No, of course not. That is called Medora.
My word!
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Sightseeing what you're made of. Fear of flatulence.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! Well, I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the The theatre's fever has overcome you, has it? Marvellous! Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a source hunter's take on one right away, my dear. Speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut.
A king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Bravo! What are you looking at me? Oh, well, drop 98. What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on, right? Well,
This show is worth...
Creamy blues
What's that? Don't ask me what... Fantastic!
Back for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan? Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer has increased my profits by 60%. Simply by showing a little honest appreciation for our show. I am Reginald the Illusionist. But I think you've...
My word!
fantastic!
Today, I think, a king.
Fantastic.
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this island...
My word! Enjoying the fair. As I said, darling, the opportunity to speak to Master Chaucer. Fantastic!
And who are you supposed to be? Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicil? I'm sure... Katerina, tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll... Ready for your trial by fire, you mean? There's no more... Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is.
It is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti... Oh, excuse me, I'm trying... It won't be the worst.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
The stage is yours.
Oh, come on! We haven't got all day!
Oh, come on, we haven't got all day.
crowd is completely appalled by your retelling. Are you sure that's how the story goes?
Oh, I wouldn't waste another minute on this trash. Seal, what you're made of. What is it this time?
Oh, here we go. Again.
Not planning on playing to an...
You hear distant mutterings. Now. Now. Let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle in, the stage is yours.
Good show!
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning. The audience seems perplexed by your retelling. Perplexed and enraged.
Get off the stage!
Get off the stage!
Boo!
Anyone got an ultimatum?
Anyone got an ultimatum?
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Fantastic!
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Fantastic! Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Anyone got an ultimatum?
A swell of unkind adjectives and four-letter nouns stream upward.
I thought this was supposed to be entertaining.
Good show!
Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. They simply must. The crowd explodes into applause and appreciation.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you? Oh, I hope there's an encore. What is it this time?
Just another minute on this trash.
Really? Really? Fine. You were absolutely, utterly, inarguably the worst performer. Glad you asked.
The best in Sight Seal! The best!
Oh, that... Oh. Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Wow.
One coin or two, noble spirit? One coin or two? Thank you, kind one. Oh, I'd heard they told fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune. Have some pity. Can you spare a coin? Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune. Ah, cruel fortune. Can you spare a coin? 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 Have some pity. Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune. Can you spare a coin? Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune. Can you spare a coin? Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune. Ah, cruel fortune. Can you spare a coin? Can you spare a coin? Ah, cruel fortune.
You think that's funny, Private?
Know much about zombies, do ya? How about walking bones?
Good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight-first, I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Many Legionnaires are whose invention? The stasis blaster. It's quite a sight, no? The ray can singe a zombie or skeleton to ash in a matter of seconds. These days, we Legionnaires hold a lottery to see who gets to man the things. Don't ask.
The Legion stands at the ready. You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the undead-infested wilds to me. I sincerely hope you...
So, the wizard's crafted a device intended to keep the undead at bay, has he? Little did he expect we'd recognize the hulking source sapphire he's using to fuel it. Careful now, comrades, and tread lightly. There's no telling when that madman's doomsday device might gain sentience and turn its rays on us. To be met with... Yes, and I think...
I need to dry off.
Halt! Our enemies have laid a trap. Careful, I've spotted a trap.